Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Hello, Namaskar. You're watching BTTV. This is Market Today. I'm Tanya Aneja and with me, Shail Bhatnagar, our markets editor. Well, Indian markets are on a roll and all eyes are now on the RBI policy outcome. But where are the markets headed going forward and what should be your strategy? We'll discuss this and much more. But first up, the top headlines for you. Indian stocks are likely to consolidate ahead of the credit policy announcements later in the day as traders pause for breath after the best rally globally in a week takes many blue chips to record levels on the Nifty. The Reserve Bank of India is likely to keep interest rates steady and paint a buoyant picture of the booming economy in its busy season credit policy as India emerges as the top investment destination globally. Very good morning, Shell. It's a lovely Friday morning and Indian markets have been on a roll. Of course, we took a little breather yesterday, but domestic equities, if we see, they have had a strong run so far in December with the benchmark Nifty 50 clocking almost 4% gains is in just 4 trading sessions. So where do you see Nifty now and what should be the strategy according to you?
Okay, good morning, Tanya, and a very warm welcome to you. Welcome back again. It's only on big days like the RBI credit policy and the election results day that you join us on the screen. Nevertheless, welcome back and good to have you. And a very, very warm welcome to thousands of viewers who are now joining us on Market Today. Tanya, it's going to be a day which is going to be divided into two parts. So the market will open. There are cues that are flat and there are cues that are bad from overseas markets, but the fact remains that the Indian markets ये ना अपनी ही धुन में चले जा रहे हैं, इन्हें किसी की नहीं सुननी, and the trend on the Nifty is up, but till 10 a.m. The market will be sideways. It will await the credit policy statement from the Reserve Bank of India. All good things are expected. There will be no change in the interest rates. That is most likely. That is what major economists are saying in an off-the-record chat that we've had with several of them. There are going to be good things being talked out about the economy. Dr. Shaktikanta Das, the RBI governor, will mention robust GDP growth. He will mention record high forex reserves. He will mention that inflation is under control both at retail and wholesale level. He will mention that GST collections are doing rounds, which are really, really good. The one in November was higher than the 12-month average for the past 1 year. As also the fact that the rupee is firmly in good territory, as also the biggest negative on the Indian balance sheet, which is crude oil prices. They are now at 6-month lows. So all good things are likely to happen, and beyond the speech, which is going to last till say 10 a.m., the first part of the speech, then you'll see the markets reacting positively, I hope. As you had very well pointed out, a 4% rally in the past 5 sessions on the Nifty, making it the second best performing index, large index globally. So that is there. We are obviously at record highs on this particular index, and the fact that 8 Nifty stocks such as Maruti, such as L&T, such as Power Grid, such as NTPC, Grasim, Titan and Nestle, they are at record highs. So the undertone of the market is fairly bullish. but the fact that we've gone up for 8 successive days, and today is the RBI policy, I would imagine that the Nifty would go into a sideways consolidating band because you have the weekend ahead. So no action there as far as the Nifty and the Bank Nifty are concerned. We are looking for no negative reactions for the markets, for the equity markets, from the RBI credit policy, and the fact that at the moment you have a very, very strong support coming in at 20,900 when it comes to the Nifty options chain, and the medium term target is 21,600. Power sector, this is a sector that is in top form as far as analysts are concerned, and this is the space where maximum amount of trading, maximum amount of delivery, maximum amount of action is on the long side. Tanya.
Okay, absolutely got that. So these are the levels coming in. Keep an eye out on that. But let's discuss Nifty Bank in detail, Shell, because the index ended flat yesterday, and the index is likely to consolidate ahead of the credit policy. And if we look at yesterday's trading session,
Absolutely.
PNB, Bank of Baroda, SBI, these stocks were among the top gainers from this space. But I want to understand from you now that what are the fresh support and resistance levels, and what are you looking on Bank Nifty today?
So, Tanya, as you had pointed out, ahead of the credit policy, the market will be flat. From 9:15 till 10 a.m., we'll just see a sideways trend, and this is something that has happened across many, many credit policies. Like I said, there is nothing out of the ordinary on the negative side that is being anticipated by analysts, by economists, not only for the banking sector but for the broader economy. In fact, Dr. Shaktikanta Das is going to give a lot of encomiums to the banking sector in terms of very strong credit growth, loans being in command, under control. I think he'll make a statement on the unsecured loans. We've seen a bit of a casualty happening on Paytm yesterday when the digital lender announced that it will be sort of slowing down on unsecured loans. But let's see the commentary, and till the commentary is in place, the market will be sideways, not only on the main index but also on the Bank Nifty. As you know, the index has run up very sharply. On 22nd November, the low was 43,230, and we are now on 46,840. So it's a 3,600 point rally in the span of 4 plus 4, 8 plus 2, 10 trading sessions, and this has to be digested by the market. Very, very good indicators are coming in as far as delivery statistics are concerned on frontline banks like HDFC, ICICI, Axis and SBI. Kotak is now kicking up quite a storm on the charts. So the trend remains bullish. The undertone is fairly strong. But after this sharp rally, a sideways to flat to a consolidating band seen on the Bank Nifty, because we are also ahead of the weekend. And when you look at the technical parameters, 46,500 looks to be a major support for Bank Nifty on the options chain. Tanya.
Okay, absolutely got that. And Shell, let's do one thing. Let's welcome our market guest on the show today. We have with us Mr. Kiran Jani, who is the head of technical research at Janam Broking. Very good morning, Mr. Jani. Good to have you on BTTV. First, let's understand from you that how are you positioned today on the Nifty and Bank Nifty?
Very good morning, everyone. So, looking at overall data and the global cues, market is really very silent, in silent mode. And after giving a very furious rally, I think it is time for the time corrections. Coming to the data one by one, looking at the cash data, yesterday FII has sold 1500 crores. Now coming to the derivative data, yesterday again we have seen that long build up is happening on index future, and some of the short covering is also happening on index future. So these are the clear indication that market is in very strong hand. Coming to the option data, PCR ratio of Nifty is 1.15 upcoming weekly expiry. Even Bank Nifty weekly expiry is somewhere around 1. So again, PCR ratio is also suggesting that Nifty and Bank Nifty are in strong hand. Coming to the option data again, strike price open interest. Nifty 21,000 call writers holding 1 lakh open interest, where 20,900 call writers holding 62,000 lot. Now coming to the put side, 20,900 put writers holding 86,000 and 20,800 put writers holding 76,000. So somewhere 21,000 looking a very steep resistance and the supply zone for intraday. Also, 20,900 is a tug of war. Here we can see that put writers are holding maximum open interest. However, call writers are very aggressive. So we have to check out after opening, after 9:30 or 9:45. If market is sustaining below 20,900, then we can expect some of the profit booking should come. So that's the reason we are giving short call on Nifty, but it is a conditional call. If Nifty price break down the level of 20,870, which is the lowest point of last 2 days. So 20,870 would be the trigger level for today. If market reaches that level, then we can expect incoming 1 or 2 day, we can expect market to test 20,500, which Shelji has just shared. So I'm repeating this call, short sell or book your profit if market breaks 20,870 level for the target of 20,500, and we are, if market breaks that level, then we have to keep a stop loss of 20,940. Coming to the bank nifty we can see that 47,000 becoming a very strong resistance. Also on call side, we are seeing that 1,40,000 lot open interest is holding by the call writers, where put writers are not that aggressive. So until and unless market is giving closing above 47,000, the sell on rise would be the strategy for the bank nifty, and we are expecting prices to retest 46,500 to 46,400, which is earlier resistance. Now it's become a support. So for bank nifty also, we are expecting some profit booking should happen. So if you want to do a short sell, wait for the level of 47,000. We are expecting level of 46,500, and for short sell, any kind of a short sell, we should keep a stop loss of 47,260.
Okay, absolutely got that. Yeah, so these are the levels that are coming in. Keep an eye out on that. But Mr. Johnny, what about your top technical bets for today? I mean, where are the pockets of opportunities according to you?
So we are very little bit cautious on index side, but stock specific, I think there are a lot of stocks are giving a fresh breakout, and they are coming out from their earlier consolidation. So stock specific, we are bullish definitely. So we are recommending two calls today. One is Aditya Birla Fashion. Here we can see that open interest wise, we are seeing a long build up is happening. On daily chart, there is ascending triangle pattern breakout. There was a multiple resistance where plot somewhere around 230 to 220. Prices has crossed with heavy volume yesterday, and now prices are sustaining about 235. Yesterday closed somewhere around 238. So we are expecting price to touch 252 level. So we are going long on Aditya Birla Fashion. Level is 238 kind of yesterday closing. We are expecting target of 252 and stop loss somewhere around 234. Next call is Berger Paint. Here also we are seeing that a long consolidation pattern breakout with that inverted head and shoulder pattern breakout is also there on Berger Paint. So Berger Paint, we are going to long at yesterday closing somewhere around 587 for the target of 605, and we are keeping stop loss of 579.
Okay. A very warm welcome to you, Kiranji. What a lovely week to have you on air. And another friend of ours, Mayuresh Joshi, Head of Research at William O'Neill Securities, joins us for a fundamental view on the market. Namaskar, Mayuresh ji. What a pleasure to have you as well, sir. How do you see the sentiment on Dalal Street ahead of the credit policy? Any inimical changes that you expect in the governor's speech that might keep the bulls away on the BSE and the NSE? And a top pick that you can share.
Morning, Shail sir. Morning, Nikki. Morning to Kiran as well. Markets are not expecting any great deal from either the RBI policy or any negative surprises from the governor's speech per se. So to that extent, what is happening in terms of recovery, both in terms of inflation numbers going on the downside globally, strong economic data points still holding out for the US market, European markets as well. That is giving a very strong indication in terms of things, even if they worsen off, might just be a little bit worse off rather than the worst case scenario that we were penciling in terms of a hard landing. Having said that, our own economy is probably on the strongest footing as we see it. A great set of numbers as far as GDP is concerned. Indirect taxes through GST collections have been at a record high. And in fact, even Shell sir, on the direct tax front, the expectation is that the targeted revenue of 8.23 lakh crores can get exceeded by almost a lakh crore. So I think we've got that fiscal space for growth to probably come through. The strong election mandate will also make it very clear that excessive state borrowings which the street had, if BJP would not have come to power, correspondingly responding into higher central gross borrowings, that might not happen. And therefore, I think the policy might be something that might not be anything which is detrimental to the markets. So the market will take it to its stride and move on.
Okay, this is the broader macro strength that Mayuresh talks about getting reflected in the economy. Of course, I missed the election victory of the BJP, if I may add the phrase, stunning election victory of the BJP, the results which were declared just on the Monday gone by, and the markets from then on till now are in a logarithmic bull market. Mayuresh, anything that catches your fancy?
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is that you have 8 Nifty stocks at record highs and about 20 at 3-4 year highs on the index. The less said about the mid cap and the small cap index in terms of bullish fervor is better. But what looks good to you? Maybe 2 stocks that you can name.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, it's become a little bit more difficult now in markets like these to probably have stock selection done. But I think we're looking at themes in the market, Shail sir, and what we think is that from a budget perspective, because now as December gets over, markets will now start heading into what the interim budget will probably bring about. And our take is that roads, water, waste management, I think these will be pivotal themes that the interim budget will focus on. And with these themes in focus, our take is that well-spun enterprises is something that you should keep on your focus. 2-3 interesting things about the group as a whole. One, I think if you look at the consolidated numbers for the first half compared to last year, you've seen a 15% top line growth. You've seen massive expansion in EBITDA margins, light from 10.5% to almost 19.8 odd percent. What you've also seen is the structure in which their entire business is based on. Water and waste management is almost 65% of the top line. 35% is contributed by roads. Tremendous opportunities in terms of water and waste. As I said, the interim budgets will have further announcements on that. What they have announced in terms of the 60,000 crore in terms of the piped water, 3.3 trillion in terms of urban water infrastructure, and 12.2 trillion in terms of the entire water infrastructure itself. 65% within that water space comes from EPC. So any new projects which comes through or expected to come through, EPC requirements will be the base for all these projects where a well-spun comes into focus. For roads, they've sold the majority of their assets to Actis. The equity invested was 1,700 odd crores. They're selling it for 2,400 odd crores. No debt on the books, cash-rich balance sheet, light working capital at 4 days. Order book at 90 to 100 crores. They have done an acquisition of Michigan Engineers, which is a specialist in tunneling, which will be required in terms of the large infra projects that we probably do. Vertically integrated company, 21% margins, 10% PAT margins. That should contribute significantly to growth as well. And again, on an FY25 basis, around 1.7 times price to book. So well-spun enterprises is something that we feel can do well, assuming all these triggers in place. The other one, as I discussed last week, saw a little bit of correction in yesterday's trade. But Bikaji Foods is something that we continue to like, Shail sir. Our take is that Q3, which is the Diwali and the Christmas quarter and second half in general, is generally good for these players. Good amount of growth expected because of the capacity enhancements that they are doing in the ethnic and the napkin market. EBITDA margins have shown good amount of growth. Input cost deflation is a factor. So flour oil, palmoline, what you're seeing in terms of anything that is probably required, edible oil, flour, and palmoline as well, have come off significantly, which might boost EBITDA margins further. Very strong balance sheet, and therefore mid-teen volume growth will create huge operating leverage and significant expansion in ROEs as well. So yeah, it's seen a little bit of a correction yesterday and this week as well. But our take is that there is significant amount of growth, and second half is always better for all these counters that we talk about. Bikaji, in the unlisted space, maybe Haldiram's, Balaji Foods, so on and so forth. So I think these two stocks probably look very, very attractive.
Okay, absolutely got that. So Welspun Enterprises and BKG Foods. These are the two stocks. Keep an eye out on that. And good morning, Mayuresh. Always good to have you on BTTV. I'm coming to you for power sector now, because what has happened in the power sector is that we had a decade of poor performance for the sector, and now we are seeing tight power demand supply situation, and then we are seeing deficits in power, and we are trying to do energy transitions as well, and receivables for the power sector companies are also now improving. So I want to understand from you that what are your thoughts on power sector and any stocks that are on your radar from this space?
Very good morning to you. No, I think so. This is a structural theme in place. So what we are looking at in terms of renewables, purely as a renewable transition that we speak about. From 180 gigawatts, we're looking at a target of 280 gigawatts by 2025, and an aspirational target of 500 gigawatts by 2030. Now, as this entire transition starts taking place, obviously the entire ecosystem, the power generators, the power transmission guys, the EPC players and the distributors are all going to come in focus, along with the power financiers as well. And therefore, the entire ecosystem has done fabulously well. You look at Tata Power as an example, where the stock was 2-3 years back, where it is right now. You look at Power Grid, NTPC, these stocks hardly move. But with the expectations in terms of all these elements getting put in place, the capitalization, the capex ratios, the expected ROEs that can come through, I think there is significant expansion in balance sheet numbers that can be expected in the next 4 to 5 years. PFC, REC, the less said, the better. And even at these valuations, I think they look very, very attractive with the dividend yields that they probably pose. So our take is that it's structurally a very, very good story. A lot of stocks have run up compared to their standard deviations or mean averages as well. Any pullbacks should be taken as opportunities for the sector as a whole. But what probably transpires at this juncture is which players can benefit the most. So to that extent, I think the entire transitionary theme from thermal to renewables, a large part of the ecosystem will benefit. But like I said, for water and waste management, I think the EPC players is something that you can probably concentrate on. So transformer players, players who probably are into renewables wires. So example like Voltam transformer, though it's done exceedingly well, I think any pullback should be taken as an opportunity. Players like an Apar Industries, which is into the EPC space, a high player, number one player in the global market as far as renewables is concerned, and anything to do with that space. I think this player can do phenomenally well. And the others as well. I think this entire ecosystem probably looks very, very attractive. But I think EPC players within this theme is something that can be looked upon for the sheer investments that will come through, and the core requirement of EPC players actually providing infrastructure support before power is made, supplied, or distributed.
Okay, absolutely got that. And with that, it's now time for us to take a...
And the other side.
Yeah, Shail. I was
And on
saying
the other
that
side
it's
of
now
that
time.
break will be
Please go ahead, Shail.
Mr. Jani talking about the very strong charts of Tata Power and NTPC.
Yeah.
Tata Power.
We'll do that after the break, sir.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And coming to you, Mr. Jani, quickly for a technical check before we head to the market pre-open. Coming to you for NTPC, your quick technical check on this particular counter.
So coming to NTPC is trading into height of higher bottom pattern. Recently, consolidation pattern breakouts came at level of 250, and looking at that breakout, stock price is supposed to touch somewhere around 330 to 340. So definitely a dip should come, and anyway, whatever dip should come, it is a buy opportunity only. So accumulation zone is somewhere around 270 to 280 level. We should buy in this zone. Keep a stop loss below 260. And looking at chart, as I said before, that 330 to 340 level should come on NTPC, given a time horizon of 1 to 2 months.
Okay, and the other stock in action, this is for both Mayuresh and Kiran, but Kiran, you go first, was Tata Power. Blowout yesterday, 10% higher. I can go on and on about this stock, but Kiran, first your views.
So coming to the Tata Power, we have seen that Tata Power off lately is participating in this power rally. On monthly chart, we can clearly see that flag pattern breakout came yesterday only. The month is already started, so we have to wait. If you are checking monthly chart, then the stock price should close about 30 level, 300 level, and it's supposed to be closed. Now coming to the daily chart price, yesterday blowout with heavy volume. So at current market price, we were not supposed to buy, but any dip around 300 to 310 should go long. Keep aggressive stop loss below 280. And looking at chart pattern, 400 would be the target price near to, say, for example, 15 January to 20th January 24. We can see this price target of 400.
Right. Mayuresh, your quick view on Tata Power. I know you've been bullish since 140 levels. What are the fundamental changes that have happened on this counter, given the thrust towards renewables? Meanwhile, pre-open has started, but let's avoid the Nifty tick for the moment. Mayuresh, to you on Tata Power.
I'll quickly go for that since Nifty is stuck. So I think renewable portfolio increasing at a good pace. That's point number one. Point two, the kind of PPAs that they are signing and the tariffs that they are getting is expected to be relatively better. So I think increased volumes with better tariff rates will mean good operating leverage. Third, the receivable position for its generating assets are expected to come down significantly, and therefore the expected working capital cycle and constraints that get created on the balance sheet probably start coming off. And ultimately, all these factors lead to the point in terms of better return on invested capital, which gets reflected in terms of better balance sheet dynamics. And as the overall debt starts coming down with improved cash flows, that creates further impetus as far as the bottom line is concerned.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll focus for a while on the pre-open trades. The Nifty is now 33 points higher on 20,936. Remember, the options support level by excessive options writing is 20,900. It's the day for the credit policy, which the statement will come from 10 a.m. The Nifty is likely to remain in a sideways band till there. But let's look at the index heavyweights, the ones that are ticking in strength. L&T taking it away. Yesterday was a record high. It's opening 1% higher, 33.85. Infosys index heavyweight in the green, 1475, 0.7% higher. Reliance in the green, 2464, 0.3% higher. HDFC Bank in the green, 0.5% higher, 1639. So let's look at the two other corporate banks, which is Axis Bank, down 1.5%, 1103. You should not be worried. The index, this particular stock is now consolidating near record highs, just a bit which the market is taking back. ICICI Bank flat 997. Again, you don't need to be worried. This is a stock which is consolidating near record highs. Okay, the Nifty is now 24 points higher, 20,925. Let's look at the stocks in the space of FNO, which is minus index heavyweights. You have Z Entertainment 3% higher, 280. You have Indigo 1.5% higher, 29.23. There is a news flash coming in that the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal has asked the Income Tax Department not to take coercive action on Indigo with regard to some outstanding tax dues, actually disputed tax dues for assessment year 2017 and 2018. That's why the counter in the green, and of course the sharp dip in crude oil prices. Aurobindo Pharma 1.2% higher, 1035. Let's look at other Nifty stocks apart from heavyweights which are in the green. NTPC 287, 1.1% higher. Remember, Tanya marked the entire power sector. BPCL 1% higher, 479. Adani Ports 1% higher, 1050. Very quick look on NSE 500, and then we'll again shift back to our technical and fundamental panel. There is no let up in demand for select Adani Group stocks. Adani Total 7% higher, 1239. We have a strong move coming in IRB, 2.7% higher, 3950. We have K Fintech 549, 1.8% higher. City Union Bank 150, 670, 1.4% higher. Back to the panel, the Nifty now 32 points higher at 20,934. Mayuresh, your quick comments on the rally that you've seen on Adani stocks. Would you have a favorite there?
Yeah, stupendous rally. Yeah, Shail sir. And again, I think the two spaces within this group of stocks, I think the cement companies and the port business seems to be attractively placed. Obviously, the numbers that you saw for Adani Port in terms of container volumes were very, very encouraging. And if the entire corridor that you are speaking about in the next few years, with the acquisitions that Adani itself has done, I think the volume growth should be relatively better and higher, which means better numbers expected with the sheer expectation of better product mix within the container volumes itself. Similarly, for the cement space, what we've probably seen as a consolidation phase for the industry as a whole, there has been a lot of organic growth that has happened and inorganic acquisitions, which is leading to consolidation within the industry itself. Obviously, the kind of demand that will come through in the next few years because of infra-stroke manufacturing growth, roads, railways, ports, is going to create huge demand as far as utilization levels for cement companies is concerned. And with input costs expected to remain stable, relatively stable over the next few quarters, the reported EBITDA and EBITDA per ton should be relatively better. So I think these two spaces within the Adani Group stocks, the cement companies, ACC Abuja, and the ports business is relatively better.
Okay, absolutely got that. And coming to you, Mr. Johnny, for Adani Group stocks only, what are your thoughts on Adani Enterprises, the Adani Ports? Because, you know, some of the Adani names, they have rallied over 300% from their 52-week lows. So any stocks that are on your radar from this space, and your thoughts on Adani Ports as well?
Looking at the entire group of Adani, we are liking Adani Port since long time. Even after corrections, we were recommending to our client to get into the Adani Port. Recently, we have seen there is a big consolidation pattern breakout came at 900 level, and post that we are seeing that in 2 days only from 900 to stock price is trading at 1050. Still, we can see on looking at larger time frame, stock price has given a big breakout. So any dip on Adani Port should be bought. Even at current market price, we can go long on Adani Port. Keeping a stop loss below 1000 is a very aggressive trade. We should take. We are taking on Adani Port. So keep a stop loss below 1000 and go long on Adani Port. And looking at all those breakout and previous chart pattern, we are expecting price to touch 1200 to 1300. So out of Adani entire group, we are liking only Adani Port.
Okay, let's pay attention to the pre-open rates again. The Nifty is rock solid, a flat opening, 35 points higher, 20,935. I also forgot to mention that today is the start of a fresh weekly expiry. Remember, the last one was a blowout, 4.4% on the Nifty, probably the best weekly gain in a very, very long time. Kiran, this question is to you. Within the Nifty space, the blue chips that are showing record highs, and a fresh move coming in on many stocks such as Ultratech, Grasim and all. Is there a favorite that you have within the Nifty space which might give a strong medium-term return?
So that's for me, Shail sir?
Kiran.
Okay, within the Nifty, if any stock price, any stock we are liking, that is Kotak Bank. I believe that we have discussed this stock price earlier on with you only. Prices were trading somewhere around 1750, 1700. Now stock price is somewhere around 1800 level. We are still liking Kotak Bank. Now stock price is trading above its all important moving averages. With that, a very flat inverted head and shoulder pattern breakout on Kotak Bank. So we are expecting prices to touch more, about 2000 level. So considering all this fact and chart pattern, we are liking Kotak Bank. Any dip should come, it should be buy and keep a stop loss below 1750 and give a time horizon somewhere around 3 to 6 months and downline of that those timeline we are expecting prices to touch above 2000 level. So Kotak Bank would be the preferred in private bank sector, even a large cap bank or even considering the Nifty 50 area.
Okay, what I'll do is that I'll just mark a couple of stocks, especially Zomato, 1% higher, 123. The reason is that you're likely to see a very big block deal today, and the seller is probably going to be SoftBank. So keep an eye on that one. Also keep an eye out on 5-Star Finance. There's a 1250 crore block deal likely to be expected from Matrix Partners. There is a 700 crore rupee QIP opening for Titagarh Wagons, and of course it's IRCON. It's the second day of the OFS floated by the government. Today is the time for retail. Yesterday institutional demand was 4.5 times the stock on offer. Mayuresh, I am coming to you. Your view on IRCON and this substantial demand that is coming in from mostly private institutions. What would you say at 161? The floor was 158.
No, I think so very well received because the supply is getting absorbed because of the sheer expectations in terms of the structural story that we are seeing in railways. Again, huge capex laid out for railway infrastructure growth over the next few years, and it's just not the electrification of the railway tracks. You're looking at more orders coming through in terms of metros, more rolling stock coming through. The dedicated freight corridor should start happening where there is a lot of capacity expansion happening for double stacked freight trains. So I think the entire ecosystem is moving at very good pace. And again, the best part, Shail sir, is that the working capital cycle, which was elongated years back because of a very, very long receivables position, that have started coming off. Execution has improved significantly. The orders are coming with better margins. And though it might appear a little bit expensive when it comes to historical valuations, I think looking at forward numbers and forward expectations, I think these stocks are also very, very attractively placed. So yeah, I think very well received. The supply is getting absorbed. I think the stock should continue their upward trajectory.
Okay, absolutely got that. And Shail pointed out Zomato, but I want to talk about Paytm as well because this stock crashed 20% yesterday, its worst day since listing, after the company announced plans to scale back small ticket loans and recalibrate its buy now, pay later business. Market didn't like it, of course, but what about you, Mayuresh? What are your thoughts?
So Tanya, I go with the markets, and the markets are a better judge than most of us. But yeah, what has probably happened with the news is a significant amount of growth in the last 3 to 4 quarters did come from this ticket segment, and where RBI has actually tightened all its norms related to lending and personal lending and provisioning and excessive and curbing in terms of the excesses that are probably happening in the system. Growth will come up for this segment. But let's not forget their core business, in spite of competition, is still doing well. The number of users, the number of subscribers, the number of merchant vendors have increased substantially. But again, I think with the slowdown expected in this key segment that they were growing at, the expectation of a profitable growth might probably get delayed by a few quarters. And that is what the street is probably now fearing. And that's the reaction that you probably saw in the stock. But my own sense is that the stock will now move in a very, very broad range, a very, very high probability of a time and price consolidation for the stock, at least till the results are announced.
Absolutely, got that. And Mr. Johnny, what about you? What are your thoughts? And what would you do with Paytm at these levels?
So checking at the Paytm chart, the stock price has made a very good bottom, and we have seen multiple ascending triangle pattern breakout came at 660, 650 level, and from that the significant upside we have seen stock price has touched 960, 970 level. From that we have seen yesterday a flash crash, and now again stock price is retesting its earlier breakout level, which as we discussed just 650, 660 level. So I think let's give a time to the stock. Let's consolidate over here 650, 660 level. If stock price is sustaining above those level, then we can consider this could be the bottom. But as of now, we are waiting only. We will wait for at least a week, and during this week, if stock price is sustaining near about 650, then we can go long on that, keeping a stop loss below 600. So if anyone is holding position, keep a strict stop loss below 600. And for bottom fishing, I think we should wait for a week.
Okay. Let's look at some other stocks that have settled in the green as far as the markets are concerned in pre-open, and they are not a part of the Nifty or any bigger index. My attention is on Siemens, 3856, half a percent higher. Let's look at Poonawalla FinCap, half a percent higher, 423. Let's look at PNB, 87, up half a percent. And of course, AB Capital up a percent, almost 168. Apollo Tires 0.7% higher, 458. Coming to you, Mr. Kiran, sir, your view on the entire tire space, anything in particular that you like, whether in the cash or the futures market within the tire segment?
So of lately we have seen that tire stock has performed very well. Now from that performance, we are seeing that stock price was on into the time correction zone. And since last week, we are seeing that the breakout is coming out, or maybe stock price is forming a bottom from that particular time correction zone, and it is performing now. So out of F&O and cash stock, we are liking C8 tire. See, it is a cash stock. We are seeing that current market price, stock price has made a high of 2600, from 2600 to 2000. We have seen fairly price corrections and time correction both. At 2000 level, we have seen that price has taken a support from 50 days and 100 days moving average, and slowly and gradually now stock price in heart of high bottom pattern, I mean in rising channel. During this time, we are seeing that double bottom pattern is also formed on intraday charts. So C8 is a very
Right, sir.
good sector. So about 2300, we should go long on C8.
Okay, let's focus on the markets. You have initial rates coming in. The Nifty's opened 41 points higher, 20,945. Remember, it's the first day of a fresh weekly expiry. You have the credit policy in less than 45 minutes, so likely to be a flat trade till then, and then the first 10 minutes will matter what the RBI governor says. And of course, we are ahead of the weekend, before which a very smart rally has come in. Let's look at the index heavyweights, which are causing this 43-point gain. I want to look at HDFC Bank, 0.3% higher, 1634. I want to look at Reliance, flat, 2460, and Infosys, 0.3% higher, 1469. What is the top gainer when it comes to the index heavyweights? Axis Bank, 0.6% higher, 1124, moving towards a fresh record high. L&T, half a percent higher, 3369. What is the top loser in the index heavyweight space? Half a percent lower in ICICI Bank. I would not be worried at all, because the stock is at near a record high, and of course you have the credit policy. Now let's shift focus to the F&O space and see what's buzzing very sharply. PNB 8735, 0.6% higher. GNFC 0.8% higher, 1740. There is a very strong move coming in the F&O mid cap space. Let's look at that. Z Entertainment, almost 4% higher, 282. Sun TV, 693. So it's a media play because of the mega merger that's happening in this sector. 2% higher. Tata Power, no stopping this counter, 2.5% higher, 333. And remember, the volume here is already 83 lakh shares. Now this is really exciting. The Nifty now days high. It's taken out the first resistance, 44 points higher, 20,950. What are the stocks in the Nifty 500 that are taking it away? I have Adani Total Gas, 1223, 5.5% higher. I have stocks such as Paytm, 2% higher, 675. Let's look at the other players in the high beta space that are doing extremely well. Can we just see Zomato? Can we see Titagarh Wagons? These are the stocks which are in the news. Let's see whether they are being shown on the screen or not. Remember, there's a block expected on Zomato, 123.35, 1.2% higher. And let's look at Titagarh Wagons. Remember, a QIP has opened, and Titagarh is selling stock worth 700 crores, flat 989. I also want to see what IRCON is doing. Remember, it's the second day of offer for the QIP, and IRCON at the moment is 1% higher, 162. A flat trade in the opening. Let's look at stocks that have hit record highs in the beginning. I'm looking at the NSE 500. It's IRB 40.75, 6% higher. Swan Energy 468, 3% higher. Prestige Estates 1151, 2% higher. Tata Power, JSW Energy, both record highs. NHPC record highs 65, 132, 1.3% higher. And of course, Bharat Dynamics and Bharat Electronics. Coming first to you, Kiran. The Nifty is flat, consolidating at 20,950. Is there any stock that catches your fancy, technically on the long or the short side?
Yes. So looking at Nifty chart and the stock price, I think a stock specific moment should come, and we are liking metal sector. Out of metal sector, we are liking Vedanta. Looking at Vedanta, current market price trading somewhere around 249. It has already given a breakout from inverted head and shoulder pattern. Yesterday, the retesting of that particular pattern has been done. Today, follow-up buying should come. The indicator is trading into the bullish zone also. So Vedanta is catches our eyes. At current market price, we should go long, keeping a very strict stop loss or aggressive stop loss below 240. And if we are okay for giving a 1 or 2 day, we are expecting price to touch 260 plus target. So Vedanta is catches our eyes, and Vedanta should go long.
Okay, absolutely got that. And remember, Shail and Mayuresh, I was discussing Chota Packet Bada Dhamaka stocks, and one of these stocks, RVNL, is again back in action today. And just look at the momentum there. Coming to you, Mayuresh, first for RVNL. I mean, what are your thoughts? The stock, has had a stellar rally, but what lies ahead?
No thoughts. I'm speechless because of the move that these stocks have delivered. And again, I think the entire logic for the railway ecosystem continues for all these players. IRCON, RITES, RVNL. The only player which has not done as well is IRCTC. But again, there are some expected triggers like more Vande Bharat trains coming in, ticketing, which is a large part of their overall revenues with better EBIT margins. Expected to do well in the second half, quarter three, a lot of holiday season. As we head into the first half, there will be a lot of bookings that will probably happen. So again, I think decent order books, new orders coming at healthy margins, execution has improved significantly, leading to a re-rating in terms of absolute EBITDA that they are reporting. And obviously, if you look again historically in terms of valuations, they will look expensive. But if you look at forward numbers, the revenue visibility for the order book, receivables is the only concern that probably the street has, because the government authority, state or central, are the primary givers in terms of both orders as well as the monies that are expected to come through. But with expectation of stability in the center as well over the next 5 years and more orders coming in and all these factors playing in, maybe the momentum for these stocks continues. So I think this pack will exhibit and continue to exhibit signs of momentum as we head into both the budget and the general election.
Okay, absolutely. And let's take a quick technical check from you as well, Mr. Johnny, on RVNL.
Looking at RVNL chart, we have already seen a very good rally from RVNL. Stock price were into the time-wise correction, and today's move is showcasing that prices are getting ready for next stock move. Stock price was trading into the range of 175 to lower level of 160. Out of this 13 to 14 rupees range, stock price has spent more than 3 months, I guess. And now stock price is trading 75. Definitely one aggressive bet can be taken on RVNL at current market price. Looking at chart price, we can again expect 200 kind of a level, and with keeping keeping a stop loss of below 160. So risk reward ratio is very good. Let's keep a stop loss below 160 and go long on RBNL for the target price of 200 plus.
Okay, and it's the entire railway pack that is in very high demand as far as prices are concerned. Let me just give you an inkling into it. I track about 19 railway stocks. 5% up on HBL Power, 414. This is a fresh record high. We've discussed RVNL. IRCTC is 1.4% higher, 768. It's the strong demand for IRCON from institutional buyers that has triggered this fresh up move across the space. RailTel is 1% higher, 288. IRFC is of course 1.5% higher, 77. And we have Titagar 1% higher, 993. Okay, let's also look at block deals, and there are very many of them. GMR Airports, which is the GMR infra space. This is a block deal, hold your breath, of 2,559 crores. It's a single block traded at 59.19 rupees, and about 41 crore 55 lakh shares have traded hands. We have 5-Star Finance. It's a block trade of 20 lakh 51,000 shares at 730. The size of the block is almost 1500 crores. And of course, Zomato, a block at 120.50 rupees. And this is, hold your breath, for worth 1127 crores and 93 crore 56 lakh shares have been traded. I think it's 9 crore 35 lakhs. Please pardon my digital ignorance. This is how the blocks are facing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Nifty is gathering momentum. We will wait for the credit policy when it comes, but for the moment, it is 60 points higher, 20,960 days high. What is prompting this very sharp move? Let's look at the index heavyweights again, and I want to see the first three stocks. HDFC Bank, 0.5% higher, 1639. We have Reliance, flat, 2460. We have Infosys, 0.3% higher, 1470. And the good point, Tanya, is that about 10 index heavyweights are in the green. Minor gains, but that is what matters. ITC, 461.30, 0.7% higher. Kiran, coming to you on ITC, a sharp up move that began from 440 is now gathering steam. What is your view on ITC?
So ITC is also a similar pattern which we were discussing earlier. A time correction has been completed. We have seen upside is came from day before yesterday, and the follow-up buying is coming at current market price. So definitely ITC can be the stock we should look at current market price and go long with keeping a stop loss below 455. And looking at chart price, definitely we are expecting prices to touch somewhere around 475 to 480 level in upcoming time. So ITC is very good pick. I definitely appreciate you and should go long.
And coming to you, Mayuresh, for ITC, I mean, what do the fundamentals suggest for this particular stock, and where is the stock headed according to you, if you talk from a long-term perspective?
Some stats are already out, and ITC has now become the largest FMCG company in the food space, Tanya, overtaking Britannia, HUL, specifically in the foods category. I think they're in excess of 70,000 crores as we speak. So the businesses that they are now building, both FMCG and the other FMCG business, the margins have definitely improved. The kind of capital that has gone in, you're probably seeing results getting delivered. And as they yield better numbers on these segments going forward, and the dependency on the core cigarette business starts coming down, which obviously is the biggest cash cow for apparent reasons, both in terms of the margins that they probably post, as well as the sheer cash flows that come from the business that has fueled the kind of investment in other businesses. That will continue at a good pace, both from a volume and value perspective. But the other businesses are also picking up steam. Again, strong balance sheet, strong governance, and no questions in terms of reasonable growth. So I think the momentum can very well continue. And still, compared to the rest of the pack, compared to the HULs and the Nestle's of the world, assuming these statistics, I think there is still runaway growth that can get expected as they expand further into semi-urban and rural areas.
Absolutely, and you are absolutely right, Mayuresh. ITC has overtaken Adani Wilmar, Britannia, Parle Products to become the country's largest FMCG manufacturer. And experts also believe that it has managed to overtake Adani Wilmar because of the steep fall in the edible oil prices. So yes, point well taken. But coming to you for some other stocks from the FMCG space. I mean, any other stocks that are on your radar except ITC?
Bikaji Foods, we discussed that. So a little bit biased because we have a research note on that. And a clear disclaimer, I don't have personal holding, but clients might be having holdings. But there is expectations of good volume growth. And the best part is that it has not got captured so far. The Diwali number will get captured in Q3. Second half will be strong. And the capacities have come fully on stream, which means as they grow in the next few quarters, the growth is going to be exponential. Just a few stats that I mentioned last time also. Haldiram did somewhere around 9,500 crores. Smaller players, regional players like Balaji Foods has done somewhere around 5,500 crores. So with this expansion, the unorganized to organized clearly gets shifted in focus. And the mix is very, very appropriate. Namkeens, packet sweets, where margins are relatively better. And as we were just discussing, and as you were just discussing, Tanya, the input costs have come off, flour, edible oils, which gives further impetus both in terms of the inventory built up and better margin reporting in the next few months.
Okay, Bikaji Foods, keep an eye out on that. By the way, Shail, have you tried Bikaji's Bikaneri Bhujia?
Tanya,
You
it is
must have
my
tried.
favorite, and I must tell you how look at my size. I have tried everything in vegetarian, and I must tell you how I eat it. So North Indian staple is dal chawal, right? So सफ़ेद चावल, अरहर की दाल, उसके ऊपर बीकानेरी भुजिया और अच्छा घी जिसमें मिर्च का तड़का लगा हुआ है. Now I will have this in the afternoon today. Thank you for reminding me. And I see. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. See, if you can look at this small diary that I maintain. It's my grey book. I note down every stock on the fundamental side that Mayuresh talks about and a lot of our anchors talk about. I note the date and I note the price. So I have a record, right? On what all people have talked about, what stocks they have recommended. But those who talk about food are very close to my heart. So Bikaji, yes, of course.
Likewise, likewise.
Let's get back to the market after this very good. Acha. But you like what palak pakoda? Last time we had that in Delhi. Mayuresh ji, you must join us. One day we will also get Kiran ji from Surat, and we will have palak pakoda. Tanya is the only person in all of Bombay who knows where the best palak pakoda is. Can you beat this?
That was palak chaat, Shail, that we had from Chayos in Mumbai. Not palak pakoda.
अच्छा.
Palak chaat is like more healthier.
थोड़ी तारीफ कर देनी चाहिए ना लोग इस तरीके से. अब healthy wealthy तो मेरे को कोई पसंद नहीं है. There was this lovely saying in English. It's a wonderful idiom. Whatever you like in life is either illegal, immoral or fattening, right? So I am the fattening part, which is absolutely fine with me. I have sort of figured out the mool mantra of life. Just enjoy it. ये सब 45 मिनट की walk, 10,000 step, कम खाओ, ये सब जो है ना, ये सब, it's all okay. But there are more important things in life like Bikaji ki bhujia. Chalo ji, let's get back to markets, and it's bubbling over. Sakshi, I'm so sorry, Tanya. It's really, really bubbling over. Let's look at stocks. Interesting. We have Ireda. I think it's at a record high, 69 if I'm not mistaken. 1 second, please. This is a new stock on the radar, and I must mark it on air. Yes, it's a fresh record high, and it got listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days ago. Kiranji, to you, a very strong demand coming in for Ircon, and this newly listed, newly minted company, Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency. IPO 32 rupees, listing 52, and now at 69.60. What are the short term charts telling you? I know there is little technical evidence on the chart, but Bhav Bhagwan hai. What do you say?
Yes, definitely. As you mentioned, Bhav Bhagwan hai. The moment the stock is listed, we are seeing that on intraday chart because the daily price chart has not big as we look. So I'm tracking from intraday charts. So looking at intraday charts, we have seen a fairly consolidation since last couple of days from 69, 68 level to 61, and now stock prices is giving breakout from that particular consolidation. So we are expecting price to touch somewhere around 85 to 90 level in within the short time only. So at current market price, if anyone wants to go long, definitely they can go long. If any dip comes till 660, 66 level, 64 level, it is a buy zone only or accumulation zone only. Keep a stop loss below 62 level, and then we are expecting, as mentioned above earlier, 85 to 90 levels in upcoming time. So definitely one can go long on it.
So, Tanya, interestingly, the entire government financing arm across sectors is now up in the gains. We have IRFC 7730. I have discussed with Kiranji Ireda, and as Mayuresh very rightly mentions, there is no let up in demand for PFC and RECL. Of course, these are on the FNO space. So good going. And the Nifty now correcting a bit. We've seen 20,975 coming in, but at now 20,950. The first resistance is at 20,970. First support is at 20,944. And this is how the market is moving so far. Let's look at the sectoral view coming in before the credit policy. The advanced decline ratio is in the favor of bulls, and very, very strongly. On the National Stock Exchange, 1470 stocks are in the green, compared with just 422 that are in the red. As far as the broader markets are concerned, we track 19 indices. Of 19, just 2 are in the red. The top gainer is, of course, the Nifty Media Index, 1.7% higher, 2434. The Realty Index, 1.3% higher, 744. Metals Index, 1.1% higher, 7457. And also, let's look at the Nifty 500 Index, where the advanced decline ratio, Tanya, is 35 stocks gaining versus 15 that are losing. So that's easily 2.2:1. 350 stocks are in the green in what is the Nifty 500 index, and 150 in the red. Kiranji, coming to you, NHPC, fresh record high. What would you do? 65.65. Strong block deals happening.
Which NHPC, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Jain.
So coming to the NHPC, we are seeing that since last couple of months, stock price is trading into the rising channel only. Recently, there was a short time correction, and stock price was consolidating from 58 level to 50 level, and from that breakout is happening from last 3 days, and the follow buying is also coming. Looking at volumes are also pretty heavily traded, and the delivery marking is also good. So all this evidence are showing that stock price should touch somewhere around 75 to 80 level. So if anyone wants to go long, definitely can go long. Keep a aggressive stop loss below 62 and for target of 75 to 80.
Okay, absolutely got that. So that's the verdict coming in on NHPC. But let's pull up KPIT Tech as well. And coming to you, Mayuresh, first for KPIT Tech. So Goldman Sachs also earlier this week increased its price target to 1710 from 1500 earlier, and experts are bullish actually on this particular counter. They believe that the balance sheet is getting stronger day by day. What about you? What are your thoughts? Is the long-term story still intact when it comes to KPIT Tech?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, within the mid-cap IT space, ER&D companies like KPIT, Sonata have given a terrific set have given terrific set of numbers in the first place, and their guidance has been equally good as well. The client additions that KPIT has done, as an example, in the previous few quarters, is a testimony to the fact that revenue growth in dollar and constant currency terms are expected to remain extremely stable. The expectations in terms of EBIT margins, specifically after all the wage hike cycle has been taken care of, is expected to remain extremely strong. Order bookings look extremely robust at this juncture, which gives strong revenue visibility as execution improves. Last but not the least, the DSO, or the receivable days, along with the utilization levels that KPIT has, are exceptional as we speak. Obviously, valuations are way off from where it was a couple of years back, but you probably have to live with it because they are delivering numbers to probably justify this premium growth. So anybody holding on to stocks within this ER&D space, KPIT, Sonata, can definitely ride them.
Okay, absolutely got that. And we'll take a quick technical check as well. But first, let's take a quick break. Lots more coming up on the other side. Stay tuned.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And now let's take a quick technical check on KPIT Tech. So, coming to you, Mr. Jani, what would you do with KPIT Tech at these levels? And can it cross 1500 mark in the short term?
So looking at KPIT technology chart price, the mid cap IT has already given a very good rally, and KPIT is one of the stock. We have seen a very strong move from 1100 to, we can see, 1600. From that level, the stock prices are into the time correction zone. We have already tested the 20 days moving average, and stock price has made a very good support somewhere around 1450 level, the 1440 level. So until and unless that price is taken out, we are expecting prices to touch 1600 level again. So at current market price, anyone can go long on KPIT technology, keeping a stop loss below 1400 and expecting target price of 1600.
Okay, let's look at the broader market now. I'd like to mark stocks within the mid-cap space that have hit record highs. And before I do that, I'd like to mark GMR Airports. Remember, we had mentioned a block deal of almost 2,460 crores at 59.19. Well, the stock has now run away, and you see a price of 62.70 on this one. Mayuresh, we haven't done much of homework on GMR Airports, but this block deal does signify that something big is happening. Would you sort of guess the fundamentals, or is this one not on your radar?
Not really, sir. So sorry.
Right. I understand that. It's a very lightly researched stock. But Kiranji, to you, what are the charts telling you? The price that you see now is the highest since April of 2010. So that is 10 plus 3. 13 years ago, you had seen this price. Kiranji, what are the charts telling you?
So as we mentioned that a decade breakout we are seeing on GMR infrastructure. Looking at daily price chart, we have already seen the high price of 65, 66 level. Since then, stock price has retested 52 level, which was 100 days moving average support, and then we are seeing that stock price again trading into the heart of higher bottom pattern. And now stock price is has formed inverted head and shoulder pattern at current market price. So definitely aggressive trading calls can be taken on GMR infra at current market price. One should go long somewhere around 62, 63 level. Keep a stop loss below 58. So the stop loss is very strict. Don't expect prices to rebound if prices is broken 58 level. So keep a stop loss of 58 and for the target price of 75 to 80. Definitely we can go long on GMR infra at current market price with stop loss of 58.
Okay, and I'd like to mark another important point. The Nifty is now at day's high. It's gathering steam ahead of what is the credit policy. We have 20,971. Not only is it at the day's high, just let me check if we are at a fresh record high. Yes, we are at a fresh record high. The high 2 days ago, 3 sessions ago, was 20,961, and I'd like to mark the Nifty to 20,800 call for the weekly expiry of 14th December. We had picked it up at 198 yesterday, and it's somewhere like 251 now. Can we please have it on the screen? Yes, 262. Kiranji, coming to you, is this something that we can look at ahead of the credit policy, or should we wait?
So I believe we should wait because the first thing is that market is trading around 20,970, 950 level, and we are checking of call option of 20,800, which is already have a 100 rupees or 170 rupees intrinsic value. So I think we should look at 20,900 or maybe 20,950 call instead of 20,800 call ahead of policy, because if nothing is into the policy, the time correction should happen and theta should loss very fast. So it is better we should go at current market price 20,950, but after the policy.
Tanya, what are you watching?
I think, Shail, we should discuss BDL, Bharat Dynamics as well. And I would like to discuss it with Mayuresh first, and then I'll come to Mr. Jani for a quick technical check as well. But Mayuresh, the execution of current orders is on track, and focus on exports also continues. So, what are your thoughts on Bharat Dynamics? The stock is on a roll today. 1355 is the level. Where is it headed, according to you? And will the momentum continue?
Yes, it should, because I think there are tailwinds for the sector as a whole. And what you've probably largely seen is better order books coming in, better revenue visibility. Again, the same theme continues for a lot of these PSU enterprises. Execution is better, receivables position has improved, and there looks to be stability on all these counts as we head into the next few years as well, which probably means that they are in the right space. And therefore, I think the momentum will continue as the financial parameters also improve. What you've seen in terms of EBIT margin performance can show some improvement. Even 100 bips improvement mean a significant improvement on the bottom line. And that creates a huge impact in terms of ROEs. So their average ROEs, Tanya, if you see for the periodicity of 2014 to 2020, if I'm not mistaken, were in the late teens or even in 20% or 22% mark as an average. That has actually come down to around 12-13%. So with all these factors improving, as ROEs will improve, that will get reflected in the price, and therefore the momentum will continue to this.
Okay, before we wrap up this edition of Market Day, Mr. Jani, coming to you for a quick technical check on BDL.
So looking at BDL chart, the stock price earlier made a high of 1250. Post that we have seen a sharp correction till 900 level. From 900 level, stock price again started in rising channel only, and multiple flag pattern breakout is there. So looking at risk reward ratio is very risky. So at current market price, we are not supposed to add new position, but whoever is holding this BDL should wait for further target price of 1500. For fresh buying, one should wait for 1300 to 1200 level and keep a stop loss below 1200. So existing investor should hold with the stop loss of 1200. For fresh buying, wait for 1300 or 1250 level, and for the target price should be around 1500 to 1600 level in upcoming 1 or 2 months.
Okay. It's almost close to 9:50, and we are just 10 minutes away from what is going to be a seminal credit policy statement coming in from the governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Dr. Shaktikanta Das. There is nothing much in terms of what the market expects in terms of rates. Everything will be held steady. This is what the poll of economists is saying. We are likely to hear a lot of good news coming in from the governor as far as the state of play of the economy is concerned. Be that as it may, let's look at how stocks are moving at the moment, and I have something exciting for you when it comes to the good stock of HDFC Bank. This is at 1646. Kiranji, your views on HDFC Bank now? We've seen a sharp traction coming in, and yes, the stock is at its highest since September of 18th of September. That makes it a 2-month high. What are the charts on HDFC Bank telling you, sir?
Bank has made a bottom somewhere around 1460 level. From that, we are seeing that stock price trading into the heart of high bottom pattern. And after such a long time, we are seeing that price above is 200 level also. Since last couple of days, price were trading in a range of 1640 to 1620 level. Today, follow-up buying came, and we are seeing that range breakout. With that, flag pattern is also breakout. So we are expecting a very sharp move should come on HDFC Bank. So at current market price, one can go long. It is a RBI policy is coming. So let's give a time of 10 to 15 minutes after policy. Anyone can go long on HDFC Bank if price is sustaining above 1640, 1635 level. And for the target price, somewhere around we are expecting prices to touch 1700. And for this trade, one should keep a stop loss below 1610. So with the stop loss of 1610, we should go long on HDFC Bank for the target of 1700.
Okay, these are the levels coming in. Keep an eye out on that. And with that one, and on that wonderful note, thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you, Mayuresh. Thank you, Mr. Jani and Shail. As always, thanks to you as well for being with us here on BTTV and sharing, this excellent data with us as well. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to wrap up this edition of Market Today. But government speech will start at 10 a.m. sharp. So stay tuned to BTTV because lots more coming up for you.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.